We bombed Iran.
I'm worried about that.
I don't want to get drafted.
I don't think you should be in Iran. How would you like to be in a trench and be worried about drone attacks?
Who cares if we fly some sorties over there and drop some bombs?
They have like these little warships.
It should be America first.
I have a lot of fan base now.
Do you think being a streamer is harder than a 9-to-5 job?
Yeah, I guess. Depends.
That's why I think streaming is harder than a 9-to-5.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I don't. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Dad's still mad, and TC still doesn't have a fresh haircut. But
Still fresh.
so how y'all doing?
Great. We're back. What do you want to talk
You
about
seem
today?
a little excited today for
Yeah.
the pod.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Tone it
Because
down,
I get,
man.
I have a lot of fan base now. I have a lot of
Fan
people.
base?
People are, making comments about my Bob Dylan. I love Bob Dylan, by the way. I didn't want to offend anyone.
Doesn't
Sorry
matter.
about that.
But you excited?
No,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
as usual.
But the first thing I wanted to talk about was on like June 21st, which I think was like Friday. We bombed Iran.
Yes.
Like 3 spots.
Yes.
They're nuclear sites. So I was just wondering what y'all's like opinion was on that, and like,
Yeah.
what y'all think?
If I'm you guys, I'm worried about that.
I mean, I was a little bit.
Yeah.
They won't take boomers anymore. They'll take someone 49 and younger, but
I think it was like
they'll
I
take
think
you
it's-
guys for
isn't
sure.
The age is 25. It's like
No.
18 to 25.
Well, yeah. I mean, they'll take active service people first.
Oh yeah.
and then they'll take you guys. And I don't think you should be over in Ukraine. I don't think you should be in Iran.
Mhm.
I don't think you should. I don't think we need to be over there doing anything. And it's not like we have a ton of money
I
either
know.
to be spending for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Because I don't want to get drafted. Like, no.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like when you saw it, like what was your first thoughts?
What I didn't agree with was if Israel's already involved with it, who cares if we fly some sorties over there and drop some bombs? Just let them take the credit for it.
True.
The only thing that was to me was like a flex.
Yeah, that we can.
Which
Yeah, that we can do whatever.
I don't really care as long as they get rid of a potential threat. But
Yeah.
to me, the threat's more on what's coming in that we don't know about.
yeah.
Not necessarily a nation state like Iran. It's more what's sneaking across. I think again, terrorism's probably a bigger threat than
Yeah.
than a nation. To Coach's point, that we can take countermeasures against. We can shoot down incoming missiles, things like that. We can track. It's the stuff you can't track that I'm more worried about.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like that since the 80s when Russia was fighting Iran and Iraq, and they were trying to take over the Middle East, and we were backing these rebel groups, and those groups ended up turning into Al Qaeda and ISIS. So you'll never know truly like who's the enemy until it comes. But
Yeah.
the last 25 years, we've been dealing with the repercussions of something that we created. So
Yeah.
I think terrorism is going to be the biggest factor in this. It won't be. I mean, I think we can beat Iran, but it's the people, the extremists that come in and decide to, do something about it. But
Well, luckily, Trump said signed a ceasefire, but then Israel was like, and Iran like just broke it, and that's why I don't know if y'all saw like Trump say the F-bomb like.
Basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Because he was pissed. He was just like, "What are they doing?" And I was like, I totally agree. Because like,
Yep.
we signed a ceasefire. It could have been over. It could have been fine. But their
Mm-hmm.
pride got to them, and they just kept on sending bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
now he's trying to figure that out, and we'll guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully we can get back to the negotiating
Yeah.
table, and this goes away. That's the hope. But if not, let them duke it out. Let them duke it out.
yeah, I don't think we should get involved.
If they want to fight,
anymore.
they can fight. Just like Ukraine and Russia, they want to fight. There's nothing. By the way, guys, the other thing is for most of our lives, Ukraine was part of Russia, and so like there should be no American blood spilled over that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
None. Zero.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we should definitely be keeping a good, mutual with Russia, because if we don't, then Russia, is our biggest problem. And us trying to help Ukraine, which it's noble, but getting us in a war with Russia is the last thing we need. So I think this is stuff that we should just let them handle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why do you say noble? Why do you think
I
that's
think
noble?
it's because it seems like the right thing to do. When a country is struggling and you want to help them out, that's the noble. Wouldn't that be it might not be the smartest idea, but it's definitely the most, okay, we're helping this country try to fight for its independence from depending on the way you look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying to you, and again, is noble. That's not a democracy over there. That's not something, and we have no national interest. I don't believe.
Yeah.
No one's been able to prove that to me. Right. You could argue that maybe Iran, blocking the Strait of Hormuz or something like that, where the 20% of the oil supply, there's an American interest there. But other than that, and we have a navy that could. They have like these little warships that, right? We could take care of that if that happened. And other than that, we stay out of it, in my opinion. Since we've been alive, we've been in these skirmishes and spent money that we don't need to spend.
Well, I'm not saying it's not.
Well, I'm just asking you to question.
I'm
when
just
you think
saying
it's noble.
I'm not
trying to give you a
saying
hard
it's a
time.
smart idea, because you can be noble, but it could still be. It's just you being seeing yourself as a good person and doing the right thing. It's not smart, but you feel like you're doing.
I just think
I guess what I'm saying is, when I was your age, I backed that Iraq war because I thought they had weapons of mass destruction. It didn't turn out well. We didn't find any. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And there were people that were our age that were wounded, that were killed, and we spent billions of dollars there. And we're still spending billions of dollars in Iraq, and we don't need it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think we should be spending that much money.
I was duped into thinking it was noble too, and I would just ask that you guys think about that as you get older, about what truly is an American interest and what is.
I just think that our country is not the best right now, and like it should be America first. It shouldn't be we're gonna donate our stuff to countries then.
Yeah.
And then like you see like Zelensky came to the White House and then just try to be like, oh, we're gonna do it our way or something, or he said something like that. Like, I'm like, dude, we're helping you out this whole time. I mean, maybe not Trump, but Biden. And then he comes over like, so I just think we need to focus on America and not go over there and kill our own men because.
How would you like to be in a trench and be worried about drone attacks and stuff like that?
I would not want to be in the war.
It's kind of sad because I know the principles of this country, that when George Washington became the first president, he was worried about America first. It was always, what can we do for the betterment of America? He wasn't even worried about going to other countries and making partnerships. He was worried about building the country. And now I feel like we've kind of lost that step where we're not focused on ourselves anymore. We're always worried about what other people think, other people's opinions. So we try to help everybody out when we're not even helping ourselves out.
I mean,
I'll add one thing, and if you don't mind, I'll take the dad advice
Sure.
later too, because it ties directly into what I'm about to say.
Sure.
Feelings have no place in war or conflict or combat. You should leave that out of that. Every decision you make should be a strategic decision to where you don't do anything if there's any doubt in your mind that you're going to have loss of life or there's going to be serious repercussions. I liken it to the playground, right? Don't mess with me and I'm not going to mess with you.
yeah.
But if you do, it's going to be decisive and it's going to be overwhelming.
Yep.
I'm not going to stop.
Yep.
And the same thing should apply here.
And also, World War II started because the only reason why it started is because our American people died, and then
That's why we got involved,
in Pearl Harbor. So it's like that's the only reason why we got in. We weren't even going to go into World War II, so
Because there was no reason for us
We were much more isolationist back then,
which was
and
good.
we wanted to stay out of it. And then the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor, and
We got involved.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we should be. I honestly don't think, like Vietnam, I don't think we need to get involved with that. Korean War, don't think we need to get involved with that. Everything pretty much after World War II is stuff we could have avoided.
Well, that's actually true.
Yeah.
TC, good. Okay, make sure you leave that in there, John.
That was a good one.
Was a true statement. Column ding one.
Yeah.
So lighten it up a little bit. What else do you got for us?
Well, I got a good hot take because
Okay.
I saw a video on this and I thought it was funny. So I was like, okay, I'll just we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So, do you think being a streamer is harder than a 9-to-5 job?
A streamer like
you're streaming all day and you're just talking to your fans or doing stuff or like.
What you're trying to do.
Yeah.
This not live though.
But
so
at
this is
some
like a
point
live streamer.
But streaming is live.
Okay.
You're live and you're.
Okay.
Yeah, it's raw, just whatever.
Raw
No
footage
editing,
for,
just it's right there.
Long periods of time, every day.
I can tell you my opinion.
Is
Okay, go ahead.
Is that faster if you do it live?
No,
Like,
they stream for so long.
Oh,
they stream
no,
for like
we-
12 hours.
yeah, let's not do
For like
that.
6 hours.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think you wanted to do that.
I was just looking
Imagine
for
this
a way
in
out.
basement.
Constantly to like keep people watching. You always are doing something.
Yeah.
And
that's
people
why-
send comments and you're supposed
Yeah.
to react to it.
Yeah.
type
That's
of
why
thing.
I think being a streamer is not. That's a reason, but that's why I think streaming is harder than a 9-to-5.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I guess what
Yeah,
a
what
9 to 5.
is
I
it?
mean,
Is it a office job or is it a
All the-
mechanic?
All the above.
I'd say yes and no.
Okay.
Some jobs, like if you're sitting behind a desk, yes, but like a mechanic or someone who works on telephone poles or someone like that, I would say blue collar, no. White collar jobs, yes.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. The only reason why is because right now I could go and work on a telephone pole. I just need, obviously I need practice because that's any job. I could go work on that right now. Like I can go work on it right now. It has to be not that hard. It just be teachable, and also it's every single day. It's not anything different. Everything is the same every single day. For streaming, every day is different. New trend comes out. I gotta do that. Even if you don't like the trend, like to the full max, like you have to do it because that's what people want to see. Also, it's live. You can't mess up. You can't really show like anything like being bored. You can't be like, okay, like let's do this. Like you have to be.
what about today, where it's like 98 degrees and you're climbing a telephone pole?
Well,
and you got a bee's nest up there, and you got to get something done. Do you think that's a tough job?
Okay.
That's a tough job.
He gets stung.
Yep.
And he gets hurt.
Yep.
What does he have? Workers' comp.
Do
Do you have workers' comp with streaming? No, because you're your own boss.
okay.
Yeah, but there's a very, very smaller chance that you get hurt.
Well, he just
streaming.
made the scenario with the bees.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
I'm saying that or it's raining, pouring down rain. You're
I don't think I'm
you're-
not
you're
gonna lie.
in-
We can ask. I think I have a friend that did this, but I bet we can ask him. I bet they don't send him up there when it rains. Maybe if it starts raining, like mid-job. Maybe
what
he
about
has
the
to stay up.
storms and stuff that come through? You have all those
Oh, yeah,
linemen
you have
out
to
there
fix
in
the
the middle of the night. They work 24/7, and it's 2:00 in the morning, and they're still up there fixing telephone.
I don't
Not
think
telephone,
it takes
but
that long.
No, it definitely. I've
Power
seen,
lines
Yeah,
and-
you'll see linemen out at 3. Like if power goes out, you'll see them until 3 in the morning working.
What is your
that's all
definition of hard?
Yeah, right.
I guess is
Yeah.
the
Well, there's
question.
different types. There's like, I mean, what y'all are talking about physically
Physically.
hard.
Yep.
or mental, because it's definitely more of a mental game.
Mental, I would say, streaming.
Oh yeah, because if you're
Because people talking to you the whole time, they might be saying the worst crap to you,
yeah.
like the whole time. Like they might just be saying, "You suck, you're the worst." And then even when you get off streaming, once you're done, people comment and say all this stuff.
That's true.
And in person, you can't go out. You can't go out because people come up to you and be like, "You suck." Once I saw this one streamer, he was outside walking around streaming, and a person tried to attack him because he was streaming. Because they knew what he was.
Well, I agree with that. The physical side, you're always doing, but you're doing the same, like you said, the same thing every single day. And to your point with the comments, it's the same thing with a lot of celebrities. It's when they see comments on their post, or if they see something that mentally, there's a lot of people that have.
Well,
I've gotten depressed from such things as seeing people like constantly bash them. And I don't know.
What do you think, Chris? Go
here's
ahead.
the thing: if you don't have the Constitution for it, don't put yourself out there.
That's why I agree with that.
If you're so weak, and you get whatever you guys say now triggered, or you're a bit of a pans and you can't take a comment, right? Then don't do it. That's your call. That's your choice. It's just like working an office job, as you call it, or being a lineman or anything. It's life is about choices, right? I wouldn't say anything is necessarily harder than anything else. It's what's your perception of what is hard.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like my father told me, he said, I would rather be physically tired than mentally tired.
I agree with that too.
He said, at least when you're physically tired, you can sit down and you can think. When you're mentally tired, you can't.
Yeah.
So I would say, how mentally tired are you at the end of your streaming? Can you take being ridiculed or criticized for your work?
Yeah.
24/7, yeah.
I mean, same thing for being an actor. People say acting's not hard. I disagree with that. I disagree with that too. But they chose to do it. And if you aren't suited for it, then maybe you should find something else to do.
Fame doesn't always make you happy. So.
Yeah, I agree. And also, but back to your point about like they're up there in the rain or whatever, they're getting paid. When you're a streamer,
yeah, you're working.
You're not guaranteed to get
you're
paid.
not guaranteed the money.
You might stream for 7 hours, 12 hours, not get 1 cent.
Yep.
Guess what? You made the choice to do that.
And you made the choice to go up in the rain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you made the choice to get paid in the rain.
Exactly.
And you made the choice not to get paid. So I'm going to put an X, do that for me, John, in that argument because it's about a choice. You not getting paid is irrelevant, though.
Well, this is not about choice. It's which one's harder. That's the question. It's not which one is the choice. It's which one's harder.
He's making the argument that he's not getting paid, which makes it harder. Okay, that you made the choice not to go take the 9 to 5. You made the choice to do this.
That's what makes it harder, though.
Yeah, it does make it harder because you're trying to grind. You're grinding more for the dollar than you are for your actual job.
So what you're saying is that
because the harder thing to do is to do this with no one watching, no one doing anything, and make the money. And then people get mad, like, these streamers are making so much money. Well, then, but you didn't see all the time.
It's a bigger risk, is what you're saying.
Yeah, risk reward.
Okay.
Risk equals harder.
I agree.
Risk equals harder.
Harder.
Not
taking that leap is definitely hard because.
So if I go work at McDonald's, that's a huge risk.
No, it's not a huge risk. Right.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
I'm taking a risk right now. I'm making this video right now.
Yep.
No one might watch this video.
Yep.
Which is probably likely.
Yeah. But hey, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it every single day. Some days I don't want to do it, but those people are doing it live. What if like they had to wake up every day and do that live every day? And you know what? This something's crazy.
What?
Do you know what a subathon is?
No.
Do you know what a subathon is?
I'm guessing it's when they're trying to get subscribers.
Yes.
So they're having like this massive like 24-hour or something.
Longer. Guess how many days they stream for straight?
5.
I have no idea. 3 days.
Whole month.
Wow.
Non-stop stream. The camera's still rolling. Whole month. Sleep, everything.
I
called
couldn't do
subathon.
I couldn't do that.
You think you could do that and just be like this the whole time? Like
if I loved it, I could probably do it.
But who is willingly watching this for a month?
They're watching you sleep. The only thing they're not watching you is go to the bathroom and take a shower.
Is this legit stuff? I mean,
it
is actually a real thing.
Yes,
where can I get paid to have somebody watch me sleep? Because sign me up.
But that's the thing. They do this and they might not get paid. They probably won't. But
the donations in the chat eventually.
No, that's what I'm saying. What if I just started streaming? Am I going to get paid for the first few years? I know a famous streamer, Kai Cenat. When he first started, no one watched him.
Yeah, no one watched
nothing.
him.
He was in an apartment.
What does he do?
There was a rat that
he literally makes
his floor.
he makes money off live streaming. He has made millions of dollars off.
What does he talk about?
He does.
I'll show you a clip. After
you watch him going to the grocery store.
He started with playing games. Yeah, made funny skits. Oh, sorry, you can.
No, yeah,
and
he has like Kevin Hart come on. He had Drewski. You probably don't know who Drewski is, but they're all like comedians, and then just they do funny things. Like they had a firework battle in their house, which was stupid, but like everyone watched it because it's stupid.
Yeah.
At the beginning, he was nothing, and then he explains his like every once in a while he'll explain his like road, and like he was living in an apartment that was disgusting. There was on stream one time. A rat. I said this earlier. A rat ran across his floor.
You think he's under his bed?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And everyone made fun of him for it.
Well,
Can we?
He
Can,
built-
And
he
guess
built
what?
off.
And he still kept on going.
can we
Yep.
change the premise to being a successful streamer is harder than a? Because you could stream and still work a 9 to 5. What you
Exactly.
mean is to build a successful career as a streamer is harder.
Harder.
I would agree
Okay,
with
okay.
that. I would agree with that. But just that it's harder, I
Okay, what about
adamantly disagree, and I'm right.
okay, being
And you're gonna get a lot of hate on from folks who are working outside and in this heat and the rain and all that kind of stuff. They're gonna say,
That's
my
the
job's
thing.
a lot harder.
that's the
than
thing
being a
though.
streamer.
But you're doing the same thing every day.
You do the same thing every day. You get a guaranteed paycheck every day if you go to work. If you at least just go to work, you can work half-ass, bleep it out, but you can work you don't have to work that hard. Like you can go to work and just still okay, I'm making fries, or whatever. But then when you're streaming, you have to be you have to be so adamant about what you're doing. You can't be okay, back to another video, guys.
I've got a great idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a job
Yes. Yep.
and let him work it half-assed.
Well,
yeah,
And
right.
see how long he's guaranteed a
You gotta
paycheck.
bleep that. You gotta
how
bleep
long
that.
he's there.
You gotta-
that's
yeah,
right.
sorry, bleep
So
it.
you telling me
Right.
when a McDonald's person misses your order every time you go to McDonald's, they don't get fired? My point.
How
They miss my order every time.
Oh,
You
they
always
do
have,
miss
don't you
your
always have
orders,
to
yeah.
check the bag?
how much time are you spending at McDonald's?
It's cheap.
Hey, it's cheap, yeah.
Yep.
We gotta bleep out the word job though. That's a little sensitive to some viewers.
Whatever. But that's what I'm saying though. How does that worker not get fired when he messes up my order every time?
Or when their ice cream machine
Did you
isn't
complain?
working every time.
No, I didn't.
Then
then
this
they don't
manager
know.
has no idea
Yeah.
that he messed up your order. He's
That's
like,
right.
good job, Ronald.
My complaint is you did the wrong order, but they're like, oh, okay, and they just think it's a normal thing. You think that's a
Yeah.
normal thing, messing up your order every time?
Yeah. And it happens frequently.
I wasn't.
But I'm just-
I was gonna send you somewhere other than McDonald's, but
It seems like you're sensitive to the subject. I don't know what it is, but
I'm not.
Are you thinking
sensitive.
about
I'm
streaming?
just saying,
what are you gonna stream? You sleeping?
we should.
We should
We all
stream.
should do a
I'm not
A
doing
live
that.
stream?
20
A
24
live
hours.
stream?
not
Yeah.
24 hours. I'm just saying
Like a
stream.
6-7 hour
Can I
live
sleep?
stream.
Stream. That was funny. I mean, if you want, yeah.
I mean, if,
We can go outside and go to the pool and do a little stream or something or shoot off fireworks.
that'll
at each
that'll
other?
get you some subs if I'm out at the pool.
Wait,
Okay.
we'll shoot fireworks at each other.
How about no?
No, that's dumb. Okay, what do you think though? Streaming or 9 to 5?
Being a successful streamer, I would say, is harder if it's just streaming versus working at a restaurant. I'd say a restaurant job is harder.
No,
If that's the question.
I say both streaming, even at the beginning. I mean, if you quit streaming, I mean, that's your fault. But I'm just saying, streaming is definitely harder to be successful. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my. What's you? What do you think? Are you? Yeah. What do you think?
I'm gonna say, just like everything, there's minutia.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There is not a yes or no, and there's shades of gray
Mm-hmm.
there. Not the movie, and yeah. It's, to me, there's not. It's not a yes or no
Huh?
answer.
What do you think?
I'd say streaming. Well, especially being popular. It's,
Yeah, try.
it's really hard to become the 1% of streamers. So
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So now, do y'all have any dad advice to wrap it up?
Yes, but
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
from
Go
earlier.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'll make it quick
What's your?
because I've already said this.
Yeah.
Think, not feel.
Hmm.
I get so tired of, and I've had this happen in the corporate world where people say, I feel this and I feel that. I know people misuse the language sometime, but you can really tell who's feeling it and who's not thinking it, right?
Yeah.
Use your brain. Don't always, unless it's personal relationships, you don't need to be making life-changing decisions necessarily with your heart.
Yeah.
Especially from we're talking about professions and
Yeah.
a work perspective. Think about things and try to use that language so people know that you've given it some thought. You're not just overreacting or reacting from an emotional standpoint. That aggravates me. I'm getting emotional. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that would be
That's good. I like that.
Yep. And then I'll add to that,
Okay.
which was going to be my dad advice, which is, so this week I got really angry about something, really angry. I go to a lacrosse, I had arranged a lacrosse lesson, and my son forgot his equipment. And I got angry, but we show up, and he's not ready for it, right? You know, when you show up as a man, when you show up and you say you're going to do something or you're going to be somewhere, and you're not prepared, or you don't have your stuff ready, it reflects very poorly on you. And I want to say that there's different expectations for you as men. I realize that, and you know, I eventually calmed down. So my other advice is to pray about that when you get really angry or emotional about a subject, but to be prepared. To be prepared to show up. When you say you're going to do something, be there. Double check that you have your equipment. Make sure that you're prepared for whatever it is, because it doesn't work in a man's world. It just doesn't work.
I think that was good.
I like it.
Okay, see you guys. Till next week.
Yeah. Have a good Lord. I'm going to take a nap.